I don't know about you, but I never feel like getting out of bed. I mean, just this morning when the alarm went off, my first thought was, ugh. And then when I walked into the pantry and saw two piles of laundry on the floor that needed to get done, it was another, ugh. And then I looked at an email from work, big mistake. Hey, Mel, could you send over that presentation you're working on? Yeah, when I finish it. Can I tell you the truth about motivation? Because I know you're looking for the truth about motivation because you're listening to this episode. And I know you're looking for the kind of motivation that's going to light a fire in your belly and put some rocket fuel in your cereal. The kind of motivation that ultra marathoners eat for breakfast. I see you, David Goggins. The kind of motivation you need, but you don't often feel. So I want you to know you've come to the right place because however you're feeling today, maybe you found out the budget for your project was yanked, or maybe I'm working on a goal forever and it feels like you're never going to get there, or your big dreams are feeling like a gigantic big burden. Maybe you've been stuck for a day, a whole week, or maybe you're feeling so unmotivated. You just feel unmotivated about life in general. Well, you've come to the right place, my friend, because I've got something simple to tell you. The single biggest secret to getting the life you want is understanding three words I don't want you to ever forget. Are you ready? Here they are. Motivation is garbage. You've been told a lie. You don't need to feel motivation. You need to understand motivation. If you look up the word motivation, you will learn that motivation is the driving force behind your actions. Now, that's what the dictionary is going to tell you. But I'm going to give you a different definition because it's going to help you understand motivation better. And it's also going to explain why motivation is garbage. So, what's my definition of motivation? Simple. Motivation just means you feel like doing something. That's what motivation means. If you have motivation, you feel like doing it. Now, because motivation is a feeling, that means motivation comes and it goes. It blows in and then it blows out. I know you've felt motivated before. You've woken up and had that feeling. You've woken up and felt like, oh, today's the day. I'm going to take Sean T's hip hop abs class. That's what I'm going to do. Or you've had that feeling of feeling motivated. Today, I'm going to tell my mother-in-law that I'm not going to her house for the holidays. I'm hosting holiday dinners at my house because I've wanted to do it for years. Or maybe you felt motivated to replace the donut you normally have with your coffee and make a kelp smoothie instead. But here's the interesting thing. By the time you get out of the shower, your quote, motivation to change, that feeling of wanting to do it, it is gone. That Sean T class, it looks insanely hard. And by the way, you haven't seen the inside of a gym since before quarantine. You don't feel motivated anymore. And your mother-in-law, she's probably going to play the victim. So you don't feel motivated anymore. And kelp, I mean, come on, kelp is kelp. Your new life, it can wait until tomorrow. That's because motivation, it's fleeting, particularly when you feel nervous or afraid. Now, you may feel motivated to make changes, but it's very rare that that feeling of wanting to do it is going to translate into action. So that's why motivation is garbage. Because if you're sitting there relying on motivation, if you're sitting there waiting to feel like it, if you're waiting for more of it to launch you into action, it's never coming. Waiting for motivation is a trap because you're never going to feel like doing the things you need to do. And that's why the days of your life start to stack up one after the other, year after year. It's why sometimes life feels like Groundhog Day or that every day blends together like one boring ass stretch of a highway. That's why it's so easy to get stuck. Because when you're waiting to feel motivated, you're never going to do it. So now that you understand that motivation is garbage, it's not coming. Motivation is just feeling like doing something. You can also understand why you can't rely on it. You're never going to feel motivated when you need to feel motivated. See, when my life turned upside down last year, I didn't want to get fired from my talk show. I didn't want to have to deal with a pandemic. I didn't want to have to reinvent my business. I didn't ask for this. And I bet all of the things that happened to you, you didn't ask for it either. And here's the thing, when the you know what hits the fan, you're not going to feel motivated to go out and reinvent yourself. I know I certainly didn't. I had to force myself to do it. My friend didn't want her husband to walk out on her for somebody else. She's not motivated to move to a new place and upend her life and face this mess. She has to force herself to do it. I know that you also have something going on that you're not motivated to do. You don't feel like doing it. You know you need to face it. You know you need to make the change, but you just don't feel like doing it. Well, you're going to have to force yourself to do it too. Look, I get it. If you're going to change anything about your life, you're going to have to face the unknown. You're going to have to do some hard things. You're going to have to step out of your comfort zone. Yeah, you are going to have to try something new. Yeah, you are going to have to face risk and rejection and judgment. Yeah, you might screw it up. Of course it's scary. Of course it's nerve-wracking. That's why most people never change. Most people are sitting around waiting to feel like doing it. They're waiting for motivation. And motivation isn't coming. That's why motivation is garbage. And here's the thing, you don't need to feel like it in order to change your life. You see, your problem is the same as everyone else's. You, right now, in the area of your life that you're frustrated, you're waiting. You're waiting to feel ready. You're waiting for motivation. You're waiting for something that's never going to come. So, how do you stop waiting and start getting honest with yourself? How do you flip this thing if motivation is garbage? Well, simple. You got to stop waiting to feel like it. You see, you've been letting your feelings dictate your actions, and we got to stop that. Changing your life takes work. It is hard. I mean, if changing your life were easy, everybody on the planet would have $1 million in the bank. Everybody on the planet would have six-pack abs. Everybody would have the perfect marriage and orgasms every day and would travel for a living. You need to stop thinking that change is somehow going to be easy, and you need to stop thinking that one day you're just going to wake up and magically you're going to feel like doing the work you've been avoiding for years. Are you kidding me? Stop waiting to feel motivated. This is a massive mistake, and it's costing you your happiness. It's costing you the changes you want to make. You got it? Good. Now that you're ready to stop waiting, you're like, all right, Mel, all right, I got it. I got it. It's a feeling, and I'm not going to feel it. Let me tell you what you got to do next. We're going to flip this whole motivation mindset on its head. This is a concept I call parent yourself. You got to be the parent in your life because you know what? No one is coming to do the work for you. No one is going to start that YouTube channel or make you get healthy or force you to put yourself back out there again and start dating or go back to school or force you to clean out the back bedroom or force you to launch that side business or force you to start saying no or drawing boundaries or force you to learn to love yourself or to get your work done. If you don't have what you want, it's your responsibility to push yourself to go get it. You're not a child anymore. It's time to grow up. Seriously. It's not your parents' job to change your life. It's not your spouse's job or your friend's job. When you're an adult, no one owes you anything. And listen, it's not easy. It's normal to want someone else to just swoop in and take care of you. You are probably used to people taking care of you. I mean, that's what it was like when you were a kid, right? You had all kind of folks around you, teachers, caregivers, parents, coaches, pushing you, prodding you, coddling you. You may even feel a little entitled to it. No doubt, it certainly makes life easier if someone else would just handle all this crap you need to do, right? But they're not going to. Just like that feeling of motivation, it's not coming. When you're an adult, you need to learn how to rely on yourself for permission, validation, inspiration, structure, and yeah, you got to learn to rely on yourself for the push that you need to do what needs to get done. And I got it. This is a new muscle. It's okay. It's okay. You can flex this new muscle. Everybody goes through this because we were all trained as kids that somebody else needed to give us permission or approval before we could push ourselves. I mean, you had a coach, you had a parent, you had a teacher, you had a youth group counselor, somebody who saw potential in you and pushed you. Part of why you feel unmotivated is because you've learned over the years to expect someone else to do that, to give you the answers, to give you permission, to tell you to run another set of ladders, to tell you to push harder. It's a conditioned response to look outside yourself for answers and for motivation. It's one of the reasons why you take so few risks at work. You're afraid of doing it wrong. You're afraid you're going to get in trouble, just like you did as a kid. Well, guess what? It's time for you to be the adult in your life. It's time for you to parent yourself so that you never sit around waiting for someone else to give you permission or waiting for someone else to force you to do the things you need to do that will change your life. The secret to motivation is pushing yourself.